Hello, good morning friends. Myself Dhawal Mistry. I am assistant professor in mechanical engineering department in Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, which is situated in Navsari. Today we are going to discuss a types of manufacturing process. First we start importance of manufacturing process. Let's be first. The definition of manufacturing process is that raw material are converted into the finished product or final product. Manufacturing is the backbone of any industrialization nation. Manufacturing and the technical staff in industry must know the various manufacturing process material being processed, tool and equipment for manufacturing different components or products with optimal process plan using proper precaution and specified safety rules to avoid accident. In this topic, importance of manufacturing, beside above, all kind of the further engineers must know the basic requirement of workshop activity in the term of man, machine, material, method, money, and other infrastructure facility need to be a positioned properly for optimal shop layout or plant layout and other support service effectively adjusted or located in the industry or plant within a well planned manufacturing organization. The complete understanding of basic manufacturing process and workshop technology is highly difficult for anyone to claim expert over it. The study of deal with several aspects of workshop practical practice are for the importing of the basic working knowledge of different engineering material, tool, equipment, manufacturing process, basic concept of electromechanical control of machine tools, production criteria, characteristics and uses of various testing instruments and measuring or inspected device for checking component or product manufactured in various manufacturing shop in the industrialization environment. This is the importance of manufacturing processes. Next is scope. Today's competitive manufacturing era of high industrial development and research is being called the age of mechanization, automation, and computer integrated manufacturing. Due to a new researchers in the manufacturing field, the advancement has come to this extent that every different aspect of the technology has become a full-fledged fundamental and advanced study in itself. This had led to introduction of optimization design and manufacturing of new product. New development in manufacturing area are deciding to transfer more skill to the machine for considerable reduction of manual labor. The scope of the subject of workshop technology and the manufacturing practice is the extremely wide as is specified the need of greater care for man, machine, material and other equipment involving higher initial investment by using a proper safety rules and precaution. The through and deep knowledge in the course of study of this important subject is therefore becoming essential for all the kind of engineering to have sound foundation in their profession. This is the scope of the manufacturing process. Next topic is classification of manufacturing process. This is the most IMP question asked in GTU exam paper for final GTU exam paper. This is the 7 marks question in a GTU question. Explain the classification of manufacturing process. In the mainly four manufacturing process given below, first one is casting process, second one is forming process, third one is fabrication process, and fourth one is material removal process. First one is casting process. These are the only process where liquid metal is used. Molten metal is poured into this refractory mold cavity and it's allowed to solidify. The simple definition of casting process is that molten metal are poured into a mold. Molten metal are poured into mold. Molten metal is in the liquid form. Molten metal are poured into a mold, then it's solidify, and then it's getting shape. It's called a casting process. The types of casting process is given by first one is gravity die casting, cell mold casting, precision investment casting, continuous casting, die casting, and centrifugal casting. This is the main importance of types of casting process. First one is the gravity die casting process. In this casting, the molten metal are poured by the gravity. No external force used in this process, only gravity used, and then its casting process is done. Second one is the cell mold casting. In this casting process, we are making first cell, then the molten metal are poured into mold. Third one is precision investment casting. In this type, first material is wax, and wax is milled by, and then making a mold, and then molten metal are poured in this, and then it is used of the highly precision investment casting. Then continuous casting. In this process we are making a long road made by the in this continuous casting. Then the die casting. In die casting, another name for is pressure die casting, because in this type casting process, the in this die casting process, we are using a fan. In this type of no gravity is used, or molten metal are poured by the blower fan, and external force is applied, and then done the casting process. Another is centrifugal casting. In centrifugal casting, we are making a hollow pipe making in this process. Next is second process is forming process. These are the solid state manufacturing process involving minimum wastage and faster production. In forming process, metal may heat to a temperature which is slightly below the solidus temperature, and then a large force is applied such that the material flow and takes the desired shape. A simple definition for the forming process is that first metal is heat, then large force is applied. So what's happened? Material change the shape, and then it's called a forming process. In this forming process, there are mainly two types: hot working process and cold working process. A hot working process and cold working process are the depending on the recrystallization temperature. The definition of recrystallization temperature ki the grain structure are reformed to called the recrystallization temperature. Above the recrystallization temperature, that's a hot working process, and below the recrystallization temperature is cold working process. The types of forming process, first one is rolling process. In this rolling process, there are two roll mill. You use 3 roller, 4 roller, or cluster mill. In this rolling process, what's happened? Material dimension are changed, and the thickness of the material are reduced in the rolling process. Then drop forging, second one. Drop forging, the use of the roller mechanism. In this type of roller mechanism, our roller are two die. Bottom die is fixed and upper die is movable. Upper die are joining with the roller mechanism. In this type of square block are to making a flat plate. Then the press forging. In a press forging, same as the drop forging, in this press forging, use of the hydraulic mechanism. In this hydraulic mechanism, the force are more than the drop forging. That's why a hard material are used. Whenever use a hard material, it is use of press forging. Then upset forging. In upset forging, we are making a screw nut bolts head are making in the upset forging. Then the extrusion. Extrusion, there are two types of extrusion: forward extrusion and backward extrusion. A forward extrusion was the force are applied and the material outcome both direction is same, and backward extrusion was the force applied and the material removal are both direction is opposition. Then a wire drawing. In wire drawing, we are reducing the diameter of wire. Then fabrication process. Third process is fabrication process. Fabrication process are essentially involving joining piece either permanently or temporary. The joining can be achieved by either or both of heat, pressure to joining material. The simply definition of fabrication process is what two similar or non-similar material are joined with or without the pressure, with or without the filler material are to join permanently or temporary. Let's we discuss about the types of fabrication process. First one is gas welding, second one is electric arc welding, resistance welding, brazing and soldering. First, the gas welding. The types of gas welding is oxy-acetylene gas welding, oxy-hydrogen gas welding. It is the types of gas welding process. Second one is arc welding. The types of arc welding is carbon arc welding, TIG, MIG are the types of electric arc welding. Then resistance welding. Types of resistance welding are spot welding, seam welding, projection welding. It is the types of resistance welding. Then brazing and soldering. Last process is the material removal process. These are the important manufacturing process to remove unwanted material in the form of chips from the material by harder tool so as to obtain final desired shape. A material removal process in this process unwanted material in the form of like chips are to removed. Then a final finishing shape are done. It is the material removal process. The types of machining operation like turning, milling, drilling and facing. These are the operation for the remove of unwanted material like of chips are removed by the in this production system. The art of converting raw material into finished goods with the application of tools and manufacturing process is known as the production, and the manufacturing process is the just a parts of production system. The production system is the part of an organization which produce product of an organization. It is that activity whereby resource flowing within a defined system and combined and transformed in a controlled manner to add value in accordance with the policies communicated by a management. Schematic production system. So in a figure, types of production system, there are two types: intermediate production system and continuous production system. In intermediate production system, in this type, start and stop are irregular. In the start and stop are irregular. It is the production system which is the customer's order, and continuous production is the continuous flowing of material. The types of intermediate production system, there are three types. First one is project product system flows, second one is jobbing production flows, third one is batch production flows. And continuous production system, there are two types. First one is process production flows, second one is mass production flows. Then the classification of production system. In this type of classification, production is operation volume and the output product variant. It is the classification based on quantity and quality. In quantity and quality, they are defined a classification of production system. There are four types of. First one is job shop production, second one is batch production, third one is mass production, and fourth one is continuous production. Let's be talking about first types of production is job shop production. In these types of production, an operator or group of operator work upon a job and complete it before proceeding to the next job, which may be different or may be another of same type. Jobs of production are characterized by a manufacturing one or few quantity of product design and produce as per the specification of customer within prefixed time and cost. The distinguished features of this is low volume and high variety of product. Example of the jobs of production is aeroplane. Jobs of normally concerned with the special project, models, prototype, special machinery or equipment to perform a specialized and specific task such as a large turbo generators, large engine, boiler, shipbuilding and aeroplane and etc. The jobs of production is characterized by first one is high variety of product and low volume. Second one is use of general purpose machine and facility. Then high skill operator who can take up each job and challenge because of uniqueness. Fourth one is large inventory of material and tool and parts. The advantages of jobs of production is the because of general purpose of machine and facility, variety of product can be produced. Second one is operators will become a more skilled and competent as each job given them learning opportunity. Full potential of operator can be utilized. The limitation of jobs of is first one is higher cost due to the frequent setup charge. Second one is higher level of inventory at all level and hence higher inventory cost. Then production planning is complicated and then large space is required. This is the jobs of production. Second one is the batch production. In a batch production, manufacturing of a number of identical articles of fulfill the specific and continuous need to the customers is calling a batch production. American Production or Inventory Control Society defined batch production as a form of manufacturing in which the job passed through the functional department in lots or batch and each lots of maybe have a different routing and it is characterized by the manufacturing of limit number of product produced at a regular interval and stock awaiting sales. Then the batch production is a very common features in industry, machine tool work, forging and casting process, glass manufacturing and chemical process very often operate on a batch basis. The characteristics of the batch production is by first shorter production runs, plant and machinery are flexible, plant and machinery setup is used for the production of item in a batch and change of setup is required for a processing the next batch. Manufacturing lead time and cost are lower as compared to job order production. The advantages of that better utilization of plant and machinery promotes functional specialization. Cost per unit is lower as compared to job order production. Lower investment in a plant and machinery. Then a limitation of batch production is material handling is complex because of irregular and longer flow. Production planning and control is complex. Work in progress inventory is higher compared to continuous production. Third type is mass production. Manufacture of discrete parts of assemblies using a continuous process are called mass production. This production system is justified by a very large volume of production. The machines are arranged in a line or product layout. Product and process standardization exists and all outputs follow the same path. In this type of production, the quality and quantity depend. The quality is very low and the quantity in the high. The features of the mass production character is by a standardization of product and process sequence, dedicated a special purpose machine having a higher production capacities and output rates, large volume of product, shorter cycle time of production, lower in a process inventory, perfect balanced production lines. The advantages of mass production is that the higher rate of production with reducing cycle time, higher capacity utilization due to a line balancing, less skilled operators are required, and the limitation of mass production is breakdown of one machine will stop an entire production line. Line out needs major change with the change in its product design. High inventory in a production facilities. The cycle time is determined by the slowest operation. Then the last one production system is continuous production system. In these types of production, a large number of identical items are produced. Production time and cost is reduced by using auxiliary aids such as special tool, fixer, positioners, feeders, material handling system, special inspection device, special weighting and packaging equipment. Production facilities are arranged as per the sequence of production operation from the first operation to the finished product. The items are made to flow through the sequence of operation through material handling device such as conveyor, transfer device, etc. Continuous production is characterized by a first one is dedicated a plant and equipment with zero flexibility. Material handling is fully automated. Process flow and predetermined sequence are operation. Component material cannot be readily identical with the final product, and planning and scheduling in a routing action. This is the types of production system. Next topic is manufacturing process selection for criteria. In the numerical challenge for design and manufacturing engineering to select the right manufacturing process for the production of a part, the reason being that the design and manufacturing engineers have so many choice in the terms of raw material and processing technique. For some mechanical design engineers, manufacturing process selection in the last thing they think about during the design process. This is the very bad way to work. The best approach is to keep manufacturing concept in mind throughout the entire design process. This will result in a design that is easier and less costly to produce. Some of the criteria for manufacturing process, then the quantity of the product, cost for tooling, manufacturing machines and equipment, time required for processing, level of skilled labor required, process to supervision, energy consumption, availability of material and cost of material, capability required to process material, product dimension and size, surface finish required, design tolerance, waste produced by the process, maintenance cost and other costs. These are the criteria for selection of manufacturing process. As experienced manufacturer will have good idea of all the process of selection drivers mentioned above. Depending on the product design and manufacturing consideration, a good manufacturer will be able to guide you through the selection process. In this topic, we had two topics are study types of production system and the selection criteria for manufacturing process. Thank you.